Ladies and gentlemen, I've done the unthinkable. I sold NVIDIA. How much did I sell? All of it. So in this video, I'm going to go into the purchase order. I'm going to go into why I think NVIDIA is still a fantastic company. And then I'm going to go into why I sold the stock. So this is my Patreon portfolio, available to all my Patreon members. This is a smaller portfolio of mine. And in this one, I sold $8,477.77 worth of NVIDIA, which was the entire position. It's been liquidated for 7.5 shares. This was the purchase order. So you can see I purchased the stock about 6 months ago. And I purchased it for about $500 per share. So I purchased for $500, sold it at $11.30. So I'm not crying. It's a pretty nice gain for a very short period of time. By the way, this is my cat. She says to like and subscribe. So let's get into NVIDIA. NVIDIA is currently priced at $11.4825. Now the thing about NVIDIA is that they have a market cap of $2.8 trillion. There are only two companies larger than NVIDIA by market cap: Apple and Microsoft. Microsoft's the biggest company right now. Their market cap is $3.2 trillion. So NVIDIA is just a stone's throw away from becoming the biggest company in the world and the biggest company ever by market cap. So they're big. They're a beast now. You can see just a year ago, they were sub $500 a share. 1 year ago. Look at that yearly gain. 200%. Of the big name companies, how many stocks can you name that have gained 200% of the large cap stocks? I can't name any. I don't think there are any. Well, there's one. There's NVIDIA. So let's dig into it. The camera's shaking. That's my cat. So yeah, you have to live with it. Okay, so let's go into the good. You all know about this. Sam Altman wants $7 trillion for new AI chip fabs. I don't think he'll get the money, but we shall see. Okay, so the thing about NVIDIA, this is the king. This is the blockbuster chip. This is why NVIDIA is a $2.8 trillion company today. Hits the H100. I mean, could it be anything else? Let's be honest. The H100 used to sell for $40,000 each. Not that long ago. This is a beast. Once this chip released and started scaling, NVIDIA's finances exploded. We'll go into that in a second. So NVIDIA recently announced their Blackwell GPU. This is their inference chip. The H100 is a training chip. The Blackwell is for inferencing. I'll go into the differences in a separate video. So yeah, the Blackwell chip has FP4 performance 5 times the H100. You can see the numbers here. Bandwidth 5 times, NVLink 4 times. It's just so, that's memory bandwidth. It is so much faster than Hopper in every category. It is a massive chip, and it's coming out later this year. Just to get an idea of the demand, Tesla built about a year ago a $300 million AI cluster that had 10,000 H100s. So do the math. You can see that Tesla bought these for $30,000 each. And they're not the only ones. You got Meta is purchasing billions, tens of billions of dollars of NVIDIA AI chips. Google is purchasing an ungodly amount of chips. Everybody needs chips. And honestly, the name of the talk of the town right now is LLMs, ChatGPT, and making money there. So that's the big boom right now. So here's NVIDIA's roadmap. As you can see, in 2024, they're coming out with the H200, as we just mentioned, the Blackwell, and all these other chips. You can pause and watch that if you like. So the cool thing about artificial intelligence is it's exploding in popularity. It exploded over a year ago with OpenAI, ChatGPT. Since that released, it exploded. I know I keep reusing that word. Okay, so here's Lisa Su. She predicts that earlier this year, she predicted that artificial intelligence TAM is going to grow from $45 billion in 2023 to $400 billion in 2027. That is a 70% CAGR. That's an annual growth rate between those 4 years. 4 years. Now, TSMC just backed Lisa Su up. TSMC earlier this year estimates that AI's CAGR will grow 50% over the next 5 years. These are massive numbers for a company already producing tens of billions of dollars in sales, in data center, artificial intelligence each quarter. So NVIDIA is going to get the bulk of that. I estimate NVIDIA is going to get 90% of the artificial intelligence market. Most of their matter will probably go to AMD. And Intel will get a smaller chunk of that. And then you'll have the one-offs, like Google is going to be producing their own chip, Microsoft's going to be producing their own chip, AWS is going to produce their own chip. But the dedicated chips, the Blackwells, the H100s, those are going to be the industry leaders because they're the best. They are the best chips. NVIDIA's offerings will remain the best chips. John Carmack recently started an AI firm. He cannot get enough chips. In fact, he wants to pay more for more H100 compute power. So yeah, on NVIDIA's most recent quarterly release, you can just see it here. From Q2 of 23, the data center, which is the AI segment, reported $3.8 billion in sales. Fast forward to Q1 2025, and that grew to $22.5 billion. This is a massive jump in AI sales for NVIDIA. It's exploding. Holy, like 20% per quarter, 10 to 20% per quarter. It's just astronomical. Okay, so what I did is back in after the last month. So this is April's. Yeah, this is my note to my Patrons for the Patreon portfolio April's update. And I said, and this was back when NVIDIA was at $864 per share. I said, on the other side of the coin, NVIDIA dropped from $904 to $864. This was last month. NVIDIA likely dropped due to AMD's earnings report. The thing about NVIDIA is expectations are huge, being the third largest company in the world. So a lot of upside is baked in. I'll go into that in a second. Please refer to my valuation model on NVIDIA. NVIDIA, and AMD as well, require artificial intelligence to do something that has never happened before. I'll go into that also. AI needs to reshape the world in order for NVIDIA to be worth its current price. And that current price was $864 per share. And I mentioned then that I'm holding, but obviously I've sold. So basically I was saying that NVIDIA, it's the bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, you're down by 3, bases are loaded, and you're up to bat. And you got to hit a grand slam in order to win the game. That's basically where it's at, is NVIDIA has to fire on all cylinders. They got to hit that grand slam. They got to hit that grand slam to be worth the amount that I'm about to tell you. So moving on, I created a video back in February of a valuation model for NVIDIA. And I'm actually going to repeat that here. So NVIDIA, I was saying, can NVIDIA become the first $10 trillion company? It's a lot of money, huh? And I based that off of a 10-year projection. So the thing is, NVIDIA is basically $3 trillion now. If NVIDIA grows from $3 trillion to $10 trillion, what does that actually give us in 10 years? And that gives us a growth rate of 13%. So if NVIDIA hits that grand slam, in my projections, that nets us a 13% gain yearly. This is a yearly gain of 13%. So this is one reason why I sold, is the gains just aren't really there anymore. Not to where I want them to be. So let's go on further. So in my valuation model that I released in February, as mentioned, I just copied Lisa Su's projection for the next 3 years of 70% AI CAGR, gradually declining to 8% by 2033. You can see it right above. So yeah, this is a free peek in my valuation model. This is up on my Patreon. So this is a free peek for you guys. Here's that graph, or here's that chart in graph form. So just to compare where I think NVIDIA is going to be in 2033 of $695 billion to the total revenues of the biggest names today. Apple, trailing 12 months, $381 billion today. Microsoft, trailing 12 months, $236 billion today. So I'm predicting that in 10 years, NVIDIA is going to have double Apple's current revenue, total company revenue. That includes the iPhone, that includes the iPad, that includes their Macs, their computers, their services, that new Vision Pro, everything Apple. I'm predicting NVIDIA will double that in AI alone. That's what I baked into my valuation model. Again, this is my valuation model. I use this valuation to determine what I think the company is going to be worth. And that's my projection. So I think my projection is pretty aggressive, to say the least. Again, it requires the grand slam. So, going on to the multiple valuation, as you can see in 2033, I'm actually predicting, based off of those numbers, that NVIDIA is going to reach $8.3 trillion market cap. So what this gives us is it gives us a base case, again, this is back in February 12th, of $1,249.04 for a then upside of $72.88. Now today, obviously that's a much smaller upside of NVIDIA being $1,125 today to their implied share price of $12.49. I consider them to be fairly priced today. And again, this is based off of a home run scenario. Off of the home run scenario where they double Apple's current revenue in 10 years in AI alone, crushing Apple's entire corporate portfolio, that were fairly valued with that aggressive valuation or those aggressive assumptions. That is why I just had to sell. I had to sell. It's unfortunate. I hate to sell. Again, I buy companies and I want to retire on those companies. It pained me to sell this stock. It was painful. I agonized over it. I couldn't sleep. I could not sleep. I haven't slept in days. I am tired. I want to sleep tonight. And frankly, the valuations, the volatility in NVIDIA has been crazy lately as well. And that's also one of the reasons why I was kind of going, what to do. So yeah, my cat Shamao says to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Oh, by the way, let me know in the comments what you plan to do with NVIDIA. Are you buying? Are you selling? What's your target price? What's your 10-year target price? Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.